as far back as kindergarten, hearing anti-Semitic things from kids that obviously brought it from home. They didn't just gin this up on their own, like saying what Jewish people are stupid and things like that that you would hear even as a young child.
I think anti-Semitism shows up in a number of different forms. So sometimes it's casual comments that people make. Sometimes it's vandalism. Sometimes, as we saw in Charlottesville and unfortunately in so many other places, it's physical violence. But I would say as a child, and probably even more so as a teenager, I heard comments from peers, Holocaust jokes. I had a fellow student tell me that the Jews killed Jesus and give me a hard time about it. I had a peer insinuate that the Jews were responsible for the Holocaust and what happened to them. And then, you know, as a senior in college at Indiana University, young adult, we had an instance where a person urinated and desecrated holy books, Jewish holy books, and then vandalized and threw, I believe, rocks or bricks through the Hillel and through the Chabad house. And it was shocking for us then too, as Jewish students at Indiana.
Yeah, and you know, Reverend, your point is that hatred is hatred, and it is toxic and poisonous and spews from the inside out.
Dr. Phil, I don't think we are nearly as divided as we are disconnected. I think we've heard a lot of discussion around these issues of anti-Semitism and the intersectedness with bigotry and hate and racism and other forms. The challenge for us is, do we have the courage as a nation to work around our commonalities and not remain divided by our differences? Because when we focus on our commonalities and not our differences, we find that there's more that unites us all together than there is that divides us. We give that vocal minority too much credit and too much of a megaphone and a microphone. I think what we're discussing today is how we elevate the voices of the majority of the American people who do not believe that bigotry or racism or homophobia or sexism in any form is the essence of who we are as Americans. That's what I think we have to raise and challenge as a center point of this conversation, not just about Kanye West. He's a symptom of the problem. What we have seen across this country over the last several years is a rise in visceral animus directed at people who are anything different than what we are. We see it in our politics, we see it in entertainment, we see it in our culture overall. That is the central issue here that we've got to address. And it's not just to the benefit of Jewish people to call out anti-Semitism and to address it. It's to the benefit of all of us. Because if we allow this disease to infect and affect Jewish people, it's a disease that will ultimately impact the whole of America. And that's why I believe this issue is on the hearts and minds of the American people across our differences.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.